Hi everyone, today we are going to continue learning how to prepare for the IELTS exam. Before we do that, try to remember some useful tips that you learned from the previous lesson. Also, it would be great if you could just take a few minutes to revise the knowledge that you got from the first 3 lessons. Finished? Okay, so what are we gonna do now? Listening. So how about locations and places? Are you good enough at describing locations and following directions in English? Have you ever had to do any of these things somewhere abroad? How was it?
Now you're going to work with a map. So here are some pieces of advice that can help you cope with this task. Be ready to work with directions and places. For labeling a map or plan in IELTS, you may need to follow directions, or you may hear a description of a location. Study the map or plan carefully. You should study the map or plan carefully before you listen. Having a clear image in your mind will help you understand what you hear. Mark the way on the map. You may need to follow directions to locate a place on the map or plan. Marking the way directly on the map can be helpful. Don't forget about distractors. The distractors for this type of task might be extra buildings marked on the map, or they might be extra options in a list of possible answers. Read the options several times. Before you listen, read the options several times so that you become familiar with the information you need to listen for. Don't cross out any options unless you are sure they are wrong. If you can't decide between 2 answers, write both down and decide later. And so now look at this map below. And now listen and label the map with the correct letter from A to F.
Recording 18.
Morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. Now, from next week, there'll be a rota for all of you to help out at the information stand here at Brookside Market. So I just wanted to give you a briefing about what you can find where. The information booth is to the left of the entrance, and I've given you all a plan to mark important places on. One of the most common inquiries is, where can I pay for my parking? People are amazed when we tell them that it's free now. We used to charge for it, and there was a ticket booth to the left of the entrance, but now that it has been turned into a small stage, we hold cookery demonstrations there. Local chefs come in and show people how to prepare dishes. It's really popular, and you get a nice view of the fountain there. We have over 50 stalls at the markets, selling everything from fresh fruit and vegetables to locally made crafts, which unfortunately means people won't find things like books or anything second-hand. We have a famous baker at the market, and many people get here really early just to buy his produce. His stall is located at the back of the markets, next to the barbecue. We sell burgers and sausages there, but a lot of people like to bring their own lunch to eat, and they're welcome to go to the special area near the tree in the middle of the markets, where they can do just that. It's handy for the toilets too. The markets are located next to a circus school that holds classes for children at the weekend, so we often get a lot of family groups in. There's a playground on the right-hand side that's popular with them, and just in front of that is where the farmers bring along chickens, rabbits and lambs for the children to pet. That's always a very popular feature, so you'll definitely be asked about that. Just let people know there is a small fee if the children want to feed them.
In the reading IELTS paper, you may be asked to match a list of headings with the correct paragraph or section of a passage. The headings summarize the main idea of the paragraph or section. The passage may be divided into paragraphs or sections with more than one paragraph in a section. Matching headings questions are always placed before the passage on the question paper.
Now you're going to skim read a passage. Here are some basic short pieces of advice that can help you match headings. Read the headings so that you're familiar with them. Skim read the whole passage to get the overall meaning. Read the first paragraph and decide which headings might fit. Reread the paragraph and choose the heading that best summarizes it. Repeat steps 3 and 4 for the remaining paragraphs. Don't try to match words in the headings to words in the passage. You need to focus on the whole idea of each paragraph. And so now skim read the passage below to get the overall meaning. And now, look at this list and choose the heading for each paragraph.
Speaking. In today's speaking, we are going to learn how to organize your notes and your talk.
Now, you're going to speak on a suggested topic. And here are some useful pieces of advice that can help you organize your speaking. Develop coherence and fluency skills. 2 of the criteria your examiner will use to assess your speaking are coherence and fluency. Coherence means how easy it is for the listener to follow and understand your ideas. Just as in writing, your notes can help you to organize and link your ideas in a logical way. Link your ideas and thoughts. Don't just generate sentences. One way of linking your ideas is by using words and phrases like after that, because of this, but, also, etc. We also connect ideas using pronouns. Think about your own notes. Making notes can help you to plan your ideas and give you a fresh start during your talk. Your notes will help you to start your thinking about the topic, organize your ideas, and keep going during your talk. Manage your time. When you're making your notes, try not to write too much. It is important to use this time to think and note down ideas or words, but you also need to be able to quickly look at your notes during your talk and easily find your next idea. Try to find a way that helps you do this. For example, organize your ideas clockwise on your page rather than in random order. And now, describe a person who has been an important influence in your life. You should say who this person is, how long you have known him or her, why you chose this person, how this person has influenced your life, and explain how you feel about him or her.
Writing. Remember what we did in the previous writing part? Write you are. We learned how to work with graphs and tables. which are in fact some form of visual information. You see, another form of visual information is a diagram. Again, you need to spend a little time studying and understanding the diagram before you begin to write. Remember, you need to include all of the most relevant information.
Now you're going to work with a diagram. Here are some pieces of advice which can help you complete writing task 1. Be ready to work with a diagram. Try drawing your own diagram of an everyday machine in your home. For example, washing machine. Divide the process up into different stages and describe it. Use the names of objects in your description. There may be some labels included in the diagram. These are usually the names of different objects that you are not expected to know. You should use these in your description. Prepare a good plan for your answer. Remember, you have only 20 minutes to complete writing task 1. So you need to identify the most important information in only 1 or 2 minutes. To help plan your answer, write the different verbs you will use to describe each stage on the diagram itself. This will help to make sure you don't miss out any important steps in your description. Use a wide range of vocabulary. Remember, your answer for writing task 1 will be marked against specific criteria. One of these is lexical resource. To get a good score, you need to use a wide range of vocabulary, not repeating the same common words, and use vocabulary accurately without mistakes. And now, look at this diagram for 1 minute. And now, let's do some tasks which are associated with the diagram.